Week 8 betting lines, courtesy Steve Merrill of Wager Talk, right here at the Voice of College Football. Not only here on the Notre Dame channel, but if you survey all our team channels, you get Steve's selections and his betting edge on all the teams that we provide here at the Voice of College Football. But for the deep dive, get to wagertalk.com. That's wagertalk.com. Track Steve's money management plan and his selections for the NFL, college football, Major League Baseball, and the NBA. All right, UNLV, Notre Dame, interesting matchup here in South Bend, Steve, as the Irish are having a rough season, but they are a 27-point favorite against the Rebels.
Yeah, you and I have both been covering college football for quite a while. In fact, I started as a full-time professional handicapper in 1996. Obviously, the internet was around, but I don't think there's any YouTube, definitely no StreamYard, and there were no point spreads on UNLV games back in the 90s. You might not even have known this, Mark, because basically the Las Vegas line was the line, and everyone copied it. And the state of Nevada it was a gaming regulation. You could not put up lines on UNLV or Nevada Reno games until the 2000s. They changed that rule. So if we'd been talking about this back 25, 26 years ago, we'd have no point spread on this game. It's a very interesting matchup, though, and UNLV obviously has been one of the worst teams in college football the last few seasons. Much better this season. Got off to that nice 4-1 straight-up start. Everyone was getting excited. Keep in mind, they play their home games now mostly in Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, the Raiders Stadium, the state-of-the-art stadium. So I do think it's a unique, home field advantage for them. And they got off with 3 home wins this season, but they have not been as good on the road. And they finally lost at home against Air Force last week, 42-7. The week before that, on Friday Night Football, they lost at San Jose State 40-7. So they've been outscored 82-14 the last 2 weeks. They failed to cover now 3 straight games after a lackluster win against New Mexico. So this is a good spot for Notre Dame to bounce back. The question is, do they bounce back? I mean, I think they knew their season was already over after the 0-2 start. That Marshall loss pretty much did them in. Obviously, the Ohio State loss they could have bounced back from. They won 3 straight games after that, including a win against BYU, in which I did have a best bet on them for my clients at wagertalk.com a few weeks ago. But then they lost to Stanford last week as over a 2-touchdown favorite. No offense. And the offense has been the problem this year. In fact, they've scored 28 points or less in every game but once this season, and that was against North Carolina. I think if you're going to play this one, though, you probably would rather be on Notre Dame. My power projection, my math model favors them by 29 in this game. So the current line of 27 is a little bit short. Just don't know which Irish team shows up. And once again, you're asking an Irish team to lay 27 points that has scored more than 24 only once all season. It's kind of an ugly game, but there's a little bit of line value with Notre Dame.
It's Steve's work at wagertalk.com. NFL, college football, Major League Baseball, and the NBA included. Get Steve's under-the-radar selection. You get that on Patreon. Search Mark Rogers TV on Patreon. You get Steve's under-the-radar selection each week, 6-1 against the spread so far this season. I'm 25-12 the past couple weekends against the spread, and you get a whole lot more. Our Discord chat, Talk College Football 24/7, 365 on patreon.com. Search Mark Rogers TV. Steve, thanks so much for the time.
Thanks, Mark.